What's going on, everybody? We're live right now with you know what it is. It's the batch call. What's up, Nathan? How you doing, brother?
Good man, I'm doing well. I got my ugly Christmas sweater. We got a little Jack Frost. He's got
Wow.
like some arms coming out here. I don't know. It's weird. It definitely meets the ugly criteria.
Oh, it does. Today, I got a treat for you. Got a treat for everybody on the batch call. So, batch played an integral part into getting this deal. We actually looked for a buyer on batch on this deal. I'm going to walk you guys through batch, but basically, where we're at in the deal is we have assigned it already. We are working with an attorney. The attorney has not really worked with JV agreements, and he's kind of newer. Well, I don't want to say newer. I don't know how old he is with this, but he doesn't really understand. So I called him. He's asked me to change some things in my JV agreement and the assignment agreement. Whatever gets it across the finish line, right? It does not matter. So we're going to change some stuff. I'm going to show you guys how to fill out a JV agreement in the painless wholesaling method. JVing is a lot of what we do. We help people. We time to buyers. So we don't spend any money on marketing. We spend most of our time developing relationships with buyers and helping people find buyers for their deals. Let's dive right into it. But first, before we dive into how to fill out the agreements, I kind of want to show you guys around batch leads, because batch leads is what helped us find not only this buyer, but it's helped us find tons of buyers. So what you do is you type in the address of a property that you're trying to find a buyer for. This is the property we're working on, and it's going to close in a couple days, but we just have to tie up the paperwork. So we have this, and then we looked around here and we saw, okay, what agents have represented flippers, cash buyers in the area around here? So basically go to boundaries, go around, and you say, okay, this is where I need to find some cash buyers in this area. You go down to quick filters, you go where it says cash buyers, and you can see that there's already a quick filter on the cash buyers. And then you would call this and you would talk to the agents. That's exactly what we did. And pretty cool. So batch leads is the truth. Now let's go to find out how to fill out the JV paperwork. Now, guys, I have to change this so you're in real time working with me. Again, I think the agreement is fine, but if the attorney that's representing us wants us to change it a little bit so we can get it done, I don't care. I'll change it, whatever. Not a big deal. So if you guys are familiar with our mind map that gives away pretty much every resource and material you need to succeed, if you go to step 8, where it goes under contracts, you can go to the part that says contracts once you get an offer accepted. So we're going to need two things. We're going to need assignment to an end buyer, and we're going to need a JV agreement. Okay. So contract for the JV agreement right here. I have multiple ones. I actually want to use a different one in this scenario. And then there is the assignment agreement, which is going to be right here, assignment contract for end buyer. All right. So my time to fill this thing out. So we got that's my LLC, Ventures of Nathan Payne Enterprises, which is a stupid one, but I got it when I was like 20 years old. All right, so right here, what we have is 30 business day option contract. So this is allowing me to work with the seller, right? But what the guy wanted me to do, he didn't like the fact that it said that I was a seller or a buyer. He's like, well, she's not technically selling you the contract. She is assigning you the contract. So I'm like, it doesn't matter. But for him, it mattered. So what he wanted me to do is a change where it says a seller to a signor, because he thinks she's technically assigning me the agreement, and then I'm assigning it to my buyer, but it doesn't matter. And I'm the signee. So again, she is a signor. She's assigning me the contract. I'm the signee that's getting the contract. All right. So what he wanted me to do is I got my LLC, the date. This is saying I'm paying her, giving her some consideration. So this agreement is legit. So she can assign me the agreement. Payable to, her name's Jacqueline. We're going to put her in there towards the purchase price of $130, which we're going to do. So this is a $13,000 wholesale fee. We're giving $3K to the agent and we're splitting $10K. Okay. And this is cool because it cost me $0 and I just needed to find a buyer and fill out some paperwork to make $5K, right? And I'm actually splitting that $5K with someone in our mentorship because he helped me through this process. He actually did a majority of it. Shout out to Joe. Joe, you're getting $2,500. All right, good job, brother. You join my club, you join my mentorship, you're getting paid because I'm going to help you out. So let's see if we got this right. receive from ventures the signee, which is I am the assignee. I'm getting assigned the agreement according to this guy. The sum of $10 payable to her name towards the purchase price of, I'm going to fill out the rest of this when I go to PandaDoc. Okay. Property assignee hereby gives and grants to buyer. Again, this guy doesn't like the name buyer. So we're going to go to just call it assign to assignee for a period of blank days. This is just saying I have a certain amount of days to find a buyer, right? Business days from the date hereof, the exclusive right, property address, we'll put that in there. Seller agrees to a blank of proceeds over, which is 50-50. It's 60-40 if you're in the club, but she's not in the club. I told her to join. I don't know why she didn't join. I would have given her more money, but she didn't. So this is a legally binding contract. A signor, which is going to be her, and assignee. Great. Okay, so that's done. We're going to load that into PandaDoc in a second. But before I load this into PandaDoc, I'm going to email this over to the attorney just to say, hey, is this all good? Because I'm not trying to fill all this crap out and then him be like, nah, man, that ain't good still. Nah. You know, which is frustrating when you fill out agreements and they're like, nah, that ain't it.
One thing that I like to do with attorneys also is sometimes, especially for like purchase agreements, sometimes like, dude, they'll want to pick everything apart instead of you spending all this time trying to figure out how to, work this in and out, and just tell them, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll send you a copy of it, that he can edit. You write it up kind of to your liking, the way you want it, and then just send it back to me. I'll look it over, and I'm sure there'll be no issues, and we could just move forward with that. And so basically put it on them, right? Make them do, if there's massive changes and a whole bunch of stuff, you could put it on them. And honestly, they usually prefer that because they're going to be able to put it in their exact wording. Just make sure, also disclaimer, we're not attorneys, consult with one, so on and so forth. But just make sure when you are letting them kind of edit it stuff, read through it, and if you don't understand something, just ask, hey, Mr. Attorney, I was looking this over, I saw you change the wording. Could you just unpack that for me? What exactly do you mean by that? It's okay. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to be the attorney. And then lastly, Nate, one thing I wanted to touch on.
Go ahead, brother.
Bro, man, only $2,500, like $2,500 for this deal. I mean, that's, I don't know. I hear people about wholesaling and they're making like 40K, 50K assignment fees. Man, why would I want to do this, JV, and like if I'm only making $2,500, why would that be worth my time?
It's a great question, man. So when I originally came across this deal, I thought it was going to be a 40K deal. That's why we worked it, right? So I thought it was bigger, but once we sent people through, we were getting lower offers. But for me, like it's more about making this be real to people. So this is going to be the first deal for one of the mentors in my program. It's actually going to be, I think, one of the first deals for the other person that I'm JVing with. So I'm showing them that this is real. Now, my first deal was 5K and I split it with my business partner. So my first deal was $2,500. If this is going to be $2,500 or 5K for whoever we're working with, at least it's going to show them that this can be done. And it's great that this is a difficult situation because they're learning how to overcome hard things, because not all deals are like this. This one is in pre-foreclosure. It's behind. The guy wants to stay in the house. A lot of crap going on. So it's good for them to learn.
For this one, I mean, also, how many hours did you spend cold calling? How many hours did you spend on follow-ups and renegotiating? I mean,
personally, I've spent maybe 30 minutes on this thing.
Boom. And that's 100%, man. And that's what I tell people, guys, like if you look at, some other franchises like Keegley, that whole company is built off of, and people that do that model, you might tend to get a lower fee than if you were to find the deal yourself. However, when you crunch out all the numbers, one, you have zero marketing costs, which is huge. And B, the other huge thing is you're not on the phone with sellers, when you're doing JV agreements and it's, hey, these are deals that another wholesaler brought to us, or we have relationships with cash buyers, and that's why people are bringing deals to us. Guys, it's a really simple conversation between, hey, yeah, let me just text this over to my buyer, text back and forth with the wholesaler little bit. And yeah, man, you're like typically 30 minutes to like on the long end, maybe an hour. Are you okay with making, on the low end, $2,500 an hour? I am. Personally, I mean, maybe there's some people where that's not okay, but I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that because I know that this business, it's like base hit, maybe a bunt, whatever, and then it's a freaking whale home run. That's just how this business is. You're not going to crush it every time, but as long as you're staying consistent, that's the key. And if I can help people be consistent, that's what I want to do. The reason why they want me to change this crap is the fact that like This dude is in like pre-foreclosure, so they have an attorney involved, and usually they do not, but that's like why this guy's being a stickler. He just wants to make sure we do it, you know, the right way, right? For the total purchase price of 143, including assignment fee of 13,000, with 3,000 to be paid to James Nay of River City Elite Properties. And okay, so assignment fee of 13,000, with 3,000 be paid to James Nay of River Elite Closing, 5,000 to Ventures of Nathan Payne Enterprises. Let's look at this again. I think it sounds about right. I was gonna do this all in DocuSign in PandaDoc, but I figure why not just do it right here, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so here, in reference to the contract between Maria Adams, buyer, and Ventures of Nathan Payne Enterprises, seller, dated concerning the property described at blah, blah, blah. And then we have a signor, Ventures of Nathan Payne Enterprises. Okay, so we got that. 5,000 will be paid within 24 hours of acceptance. Right now, what I'm showing you guys, this is more for people that are doing deals, that maybe their first deal and they want to make sure they're doing it right. Learning from someone who has done hundreds of deals, but sometimes you get an attorney that throws you a curveball and you got to change your agreement, and that's all good. All right, so I'm sending the attorney an email with both agreements updated before I put it into PandaDoc and have everybody sign. Just emailed it to them. But that's it, everybody. I mean, there's nothing really to it. If any of you want to know where you can find this information, right here in the Painless Wholesaling Mind Map, there's a free version that shows you the process of how to go through wholesaling, reverse wholesaling, how to do deals with $0 in marketing spend. If you join the Painless Wholesaling Club, you get access to all the materials you need: contracts, scripts, videos of how to do this. I mean, I'm actually going to take this video, I'm going to put it in the mind map so you can watch it later if you forget how to fill out a JV agreement. Okay. All right, guys, peace out. Have a great day. Bye.